Boys, because of last week's card, I got a little bit depressed seeing my boy Dorino go out here and now on a multi-fight losing streak. You don't like to see that. The hood was crying, everybody was hurting that day, and it got me thinking, what are some matchups I can do for, some of these fighters on some losing streaks? Some of the biggest losers in the MMA space right now. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just facts. They're on losing streaks. Every single one of these fighters are on a losing streak, whether that be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're on a streak of losses. And let's start off with the boy Dorino. But before we get started, originally I wanted to have Tony Ferguson on here, and I completely forgot to add him. So in the comments below, we brought Tony Ferguson back from the GFL. What matchup are we giving him to secure a 100% easy win? Giving him a welterweight or a lightweight fight? Let me know in the comments below. What fight are we giving my boy Tony to get an easy win out here? But Gilbert Burns, look at this dude. He's out here mean mugging me. He looks shredded as hell. But, at the end of the day, he just didn't want to be in there anymore. Father time has caught up, but look at this dude mean mugging me. I look at this photo of him and I'm like, this ain't the same Dorino that was early crying, not even around into his main event spot, but it is what it is. What's a fight that I can give Gilbert Burns right now that will, I'm not saying secure, all these fights aren't a 100% for sure, easy win for them, but I'm looking at this fight. I'm looking at all the fights that I match these dudes up with, and I'm thinking of fun matchups and, matchups that, are on the side of the losers. Gilbert Burns, what's an easy matchup that could get him done? I'm looking at that welterweight division. Welterweight right now is stacked with killers. However, Colby Covington's there. And I don't think, tell me realistically, what's Colby Covington gonna do to Gilbert Burns? Is he gonna hurt him on the feet like a Michael Morales did? No. Is he gonna last second knee Gilbert Burns in the head like a JDM did? No. Is he going to hold him down all 3-5 rounds? I don't think so, to be honest. Again, maybe we'll do Colby Covington in another episode because I got a bunch of dudes that we can go through. So maybe next episode we'll give Colby Covington an easy win. But yeah, I just don't see any way Colby Covington can win this fight over Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns wins here either by knockout, submission, decision. I think he wins every aspect of the fight. If it's a 5-rounder though, towards the end, I could see Gilbert gassing out and Colby taking over and winning a TKO win over a gassed Gilbert Burns. But again, looking at welterweight, there's really not that many people out there for Gilbert Burns to get a win here that's semi-realistic. Let's move down though. Drew Dober. What do we give Drew Dober? I looked through lightweight and there's not many guys that are semi-realistic to give Drew Dober for that would be an easy win. We have to go back into his back pocket, we have to go find that demographic. We have to go find what is working for Drew Dober, the pocket of success. And I go pick up someone, the only one in the field right now. Pause. That's not what I meant at all, but pause. The only one that has the the only one that has the only one that makes sense to have such a jump up in competition, because Drew Dober ranked around 20-ish in the rankings. This guy's around 30-40. Michael Johnson, Do I gotta say much about this one? We go look at Drew Dober's past history and we see, again, we reach back into that back pocket to see what is working for him. Easy round 1, round 2 KO for Drew Dober. You know what I mean? And I was picking either Michael Johnson, like there is the McKinney we could have used here, but I like the Johnson one. This is a fun fight, and if Drew Dober is fully washed, not only is this a fun fight, it'll be a war at the end of the day. And again, is it real? It's semi-realistic. It's not the most realistic matching in the world, but it's still semi-realistic. Dober on a multi-fight losing streak. I believe Johnson on a multi-fight win streak as well. So maybe it's realistic, but yeah. We go into the back pocket, what's working for Drew Dober, and unfortunately, Michael Johnson's that next victim. Let's go down. Michael Chandler. I don't know who the hell we can give Michael Chandler from to get an easy win out here. Because I look at lightweight and, man, lightweight it's a hard fight for Michael Chandler. Anybody in lightweight right now, especially because this idiot is ranked. And, I'll just run through some names right now, and you guys tell me, is Chandler beating them? Let's go up. We'll do realistic. Dan Hooker. I mean, there's a possibility that Chandler gets it done over Hooker again, but I don't know. I honestly would pick Hooker in this one. Matus Gamrot's holding that dude down all 3 rounds, all 5 rounds, however long it is. Rafael Fiziev, same thing. He's using his well-rounded game plan to hold down Chandler. Maybe he can strike with him on the feet. Moicano's turning his face into mush like he did BSD. Grant Dawson's laying on him all 5 rounds. Benoit Saint-Denis, I mean, he might get it done over Benoit, but I see Benoit could hold him down. So we have to go outside into the unranked area, and we have to pick on someone who's a little bit smaller. I got Gene Silva here. Now, hear me out. First off, Michael Chandler is a decently sized lightweight, and Gene Silva is a featherweight. So, automatically, we're giving Michael Chandler a huge advantage here, size-wise. And then, physicality-wise, I don't think Gene Silva can just easily throw down Michael Chandler, hold him there, submit him. I don't think so. So then that plays into Michael Chandler's wheelhouse, because both these dudes are brawlers at the end of the day. So of course I could see Michael Chandler getting it done here. He has all of the advantages in the world, but just pretty much every single one of his fights, I can still see this dude somehow fumbling the win. But honestly, out of lightweight right now, everyone here, I could see Gene Silva being one of the more logical, easier fights for Michael Chandler to get a win here. And if you guys forget why do I have Gene Silva here? That's because he did fight at lightweight against the boy Drew Dober. Obviously, Drew Dober lost because look at the color of Gene Silva. So that's why he's high up in that lightweight division. But let's keep moving down. Jan Blachowicz. The hood has been hurting for years now. We have not seen a classic Jan Blachowicz win in so long. And to be honest, low-key of a robbery in his last fight. It is what it is. I think, I need to see one more fight for Jan Blachowicz for me to fully say if he's washed or not. And a perfect matchup for this, win or lose in their next fight. I think Jan Blachowicz gets a pretty easy win here over Khalil Roundtree. And my logic is the same thing with the Colby Covington fight. What is Khalil Roundtree going to do? Is Khalil Roundtree going to outstrike Jan Blachowicz? I don't think so. I think Jan Blachowicz is a better striker. Is Khalil Roundtree going to take down Jan Blachowicz? Maybe. But we saw with Magomed, it's not that easy to do, and you can't be super dominant at it. So I could see, maybe he can take down Jan, but I think Jan could just get right back up and continue on. I think, again, throughout the entire fight, every point in this fight, Jan Blachowicz should be able to win every aspect. Even if it gets into the later rounds, I think Jan Blachowicz has the better gas tank, the more experience, and the one thing that's haunting me right now, because I could see Khalil Roundtree just stomping out this dude's kneecap like he did that one dude. I could see that happening, and then we just see an old man Jan Blachowicz carried out on a stretcher, and that's the end of his career. 100% I could see that in this fight, but a pretty easy win here for Jan Blachowicz. But let's move down. We're just about halfway through the fighters. I got 8 here, but let's move down to a prospect, a former prospect, Cameron Saaiman. We need Cameron Saaiman back on a win streak. I don't know if this dude's even going to be in the UFC anymore. It seems like the UFC haven't cut him just yet, so that's good. Even though he has lost to nothing but prospect this dude has lost to. So let's give him, again, another former ex-prospect. Because I think Rinya Nakamura versus Cameron Saaiman not only would be a banger of a fight, but I don't think Rinya's got shit for Cameron Saaiman in this fight. We saw in Rinya's last fight, he was formerly undefeated, but we saw this dude has 0 fight IQ. His hands are garbage, and if he can't get that takedown, he's pretty much screwed. Do I think that he can take down Cameron Saaiman? Yeah, maybe. But in his last fight, Rinya Nakamura showed he's a retard out there and has 0 fight IQ, so I could see his dumbass trying to strike with Cameron Saaiman. And again, right now, bantamweight is semi-stacked, and I'm looking through the division, and there's definitely other fights you could give Cameron Saaiman to get a win here. But again, I just think this would be a really fun matchup, as well as both these dudes, a former ex-prospect, Cameron Saaiman, former ex-prospect, Rinya Nakamura, just recently a former undefeated prospect. So yeah, run this shit next. This would be a fun-ass fight, but let's move down. Tai Tuivasa. Now, best believe Tai Tuivasa looks hella slim in this photo compared to real life now. This dude has packed on the weight ever since this photo has been taken, but we need to get Tai Tuivasa a win here. And it shouldn't be too hard considering, heavyweight is pretty garbage, I'm not gonna lie. However, like I said, this dude is packed on the weight recently. So I don't even know if this dude's taking anything serious. So it's hard to matchmake this dude. So fuck it. I wish this is a fight that they made, but I want Waldo Cortes-Acosta. But it seems like recently there was a fight announced where Costa is taking someone else on. I forget who it is. I just know it's not Tai Tuivasa. I want this fight next. Of course, Costa could take down Tai Tuivasa. I think he would strike with Tai, to be honest. And you know, if you're striking with Tai always has that chance. So if I'm trying to give Tai Tuivasa a win here, I'm matching up with Waldo Cortes-Acosta. I think it would be a fun matchup. I wanted this on the Perth card. It doesn't look like that's going to happen because, like I said, Waldo is already scheduled. But move down. Another goofy goober out here. Johnny Walker. What do we do with Johnny Walker? I wanted to move him up to heavyweight. He seems like he doesn't want to do that. So fuck it. We're staying at light heavyweight. And you know, I'm looking through light heavyweight. I see a lot of dudes that just easily knock out Johnny Walker. So I'm like, okay, let me find someone who has not that much power. Tell me this isn't an easy win. What does Roman Dolidze do to Johnny Walker? Again, this is like the Khalil Roundtree, the Colby Covington like situation. I don't think like Roman Dolidze can do anything to Johnny Walker. I think Johnny Walker gets a pretty easy win out here. And maybe that's because I always count out Roman Dolidze. You know, for some reason, I'm always counting this dude out. But I feel like this is an easy win. Maybe he can take down Johnny Walker. But I feel like Johnny's footwork, his goofy style, I feel like that would be too much for Roman Dolidze. I think this is an easy win for Johnny Walker. And again, a fun matchup. Pretty much any fight you have with Johnny Walker is going to be a fun matchup just because it has that possibility of ending in a highlight reel Looney Tunes-esque knockout. But run this one next. Let's go down. Last one, Henry Cejudo. To be honest, I don't really care much about this one. I don't know why my dude is so pixelated, but do I care to fix it? No. But with that being said, who do we give Henry Cejudo? Again, bantamweight, it's kind of hard to match this dude up. I'm also kind of thinking realistic. What's a realistic next matchup for him? And to be honest, I feel like Kyler Phillips could be a pretty easy win out here. I don't think Kyler Phillips is all that good, especially coming off a loss to Rob Font, who also I don't have that highly regarded. I think Henry Cejudo could get it done on the ground. I think he could hold him down on the ground and win a pretty boring decision. Yeah, those are the 8 guys I have here that I would match up so they could get a pretty easy win out here. I have a bunch more dudes that I could make another video if you guys want me to. Let me know in the comments below if you need a part 2 of this. And yeah, let me know in the comments below about my boy Tony Ferguson, El Kukui. Who are we matching him up with? And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.